about 6 months. About 6 months ago, the previous government was replaced by a government of technocrats, led by our Honourable Chief Advisor. And we have started to look at how do we make the investment climate better for all the businesses in Bangladesh. We spoke to roughly over 200 CEOs and entrepreneurs, both local and international businesses that are currently in Bangladesh, to understand what is actually wrong. Why haven't we received as much investment as Vietnam has from China, for example? And the 5 key points that came up are these 5 points. The quality of government services, the policy continuity, industry concentration or the lack of it, and eliminating corruption, and finally, access to resources. So we also asked them is to tell us how do we resolve these issues? What are the key practical challenges that you're facing on a day-to-day basis? We collated everyone's answer and came up with a set of recommendations that we thought were the most important pieces that need to be resolved for investors to do better business in Bangladesh. And we divided these solutions into 2 groups. Some of these are short-term solutions, which we can undertake within 2025. Some of them are long-term reforms, which are structural changes, hopefully which will create a track, a direction of travel for the incoming governments to continue improving the investment climate. So I'll give you a few examples. I'll break it down slightly further for you to understand what are we actually doing. So let's look at the ones that are at the bottom. We have plans to now convert our Investment Development Authority in a true one-stop shop. Just like a bank, you will actually have relationship managers sitting within the government who will handhold the incoming investor and walk the investor through the government alleys so that the investor doesn't have to go independently and try to find out what needs to be done. We are co-locating the high-frequency government offices into one building so that, again, the investor can get a one-stop shop feeling when he or she arrives at that office. At the same time, we understand that the trade corridor and supply chain and logistics are probably one of the most important pieces for our trading partners, and therefore we have started digitizing the customs system. We've introduced something called a green channel, which is very common in Western markets. We didn't have it in Bangladesh before, but now you can actually skip practical customs check if you are a company of a high standard. At the same time, the invoicing system in the ports have now been digitized in the last few months. So these are short-term win examples. Let's look at some of the longer-term changes, one of which we call FDI heat map. So for us, we thought it would be important for the government to understand where should we maximize our time to provide policy support to the investors, and also to provide investors a set of potentially suggestive sectors where they can come and do business in Bangladesh. I'm going to expand this table slightly more so that you can understand what we are talking about. So on the top right-hand corner are essentially the industries where we think we have relative competitive advantage. I will name a few of them. Obviously, not surprisingly, the advanced textile and core apparels, but also pharmaceuticals, IT enabling services, renewable energy, light engineering, and leather. So we personally feel the labor intensity of these, the market economics, and the utility factors built in, these are the areas where Bangladesh has to be one of the best destinations to business. Potentially to export out of the country, not only meeting the local demand, but using Bangladesh as a factory to export across the world. The other thing that's probably worth mentioning is what are we doing specially for our Chinese friends. We've very recently made significant progress in building the first special economic zone or industrial park for Chinese investors. It's about 800 acres of land. It's right beside, about 15 minutes away from the biggest port we have, and about 20 minutes away from an airport, an international airport, and potentially about 25 minutes away from the Bay terminal we're about to build in the next 3 to 5 years. So it's located in a very strategic location and offers one of the best connectivities in country. Obviously comes with a set of fiscal and non-fiscal benefits that you would enjoy if you land in Bangladesh within that special economic zone. If you have any further queries, by the way, on this, please reach out to these 4 individuals. So on this side, you have our fantastic colleagues from the Beijing Embassy. They will actually send you this presentation. So if you have shared your card with our embassy, if you have shared your contacts, we will share the presentation to all of you so that you have this as a reference point. But they should be ideally your first point of contact. Any query you have, you'd like to go to Bangladesh for the Investment Summit that's coming up in a few weeks, or at any point in time future, please reach out to them. On the right-hand side, you have the Investment Development Authority team. We're always there for you in Bangladesh. The gentleman below is Head of Business Development. His core job is just to help new inbound investors. And then I'm there to help you with restaurant suggestions. So that's really what I wanted to start with, and I'm very keen, and I'm sure my boss is also very keen to understand what your thoughts, questions, and queries are. But I'd like to summarize what we've just spoken about. Let's look at the takeaways. We don't consider ourselves as the perfect country. Every country has its positives and negatives. But on the balance, we think we are a great investment destination for a few reasons. Number one, the case for Bangladesh is really strong, and we are making changes to make it even stronger. Number two, the changing geopolitical landscape makes Bangladesh a fantastic location to export out of. And number three, we are open for business with competitive incentive programs, especially in the economic zone that we're building for our Chinese investors. So I say to you that the time is now to invest in Bangladesh. Jianzhai Zheng Shishu Ho. We're here for you, and we're here to take all the questions you have. Thank you very much. I would like to now invite, who I'm lucky to call my boss, His Excellency Professor Momin Yunus, the Honourable Chief Advisor of the People's Republic of Bangladesh. Please join me in welcoming sir.
Can I use this?
Yes,
Good morning. I thought I'll just take advantage of what Asik has been explaining to you. Something, for me, it's a very interesting part of Bangladesh. Bangladesh is the most densely populated country in the whole world. Do you believe that? Most densely populated country in the entire world. And every day, it is becoming more Norway is very large. Of this 171 million people, half the population is under the age of 27. It's a very young population, full of energy, full of creativity, full of ambition, aspirations, and ready to do all unexpected things never thought of. So that's the exciting part of Bangladesh. When we became an independent country separating from Pakistan in 1971, we had practically no industry at all. We were a nation of farmers. That's what we did. Out of nowhere, something started very small, making shirts, making clothes, garments, in a very small way. Because Hong Kong business people and others wanted to set up little factories in Bangladesh because they are running out of their international permission to get a quota-free entry into the market. So Bangladesh still had that privilege, so they wanted to use it. So that was the beginning. Today, we're the second largest garment manufacturers in the whole world. Second largest, next to China. It's not India, which is a very large country compared to us. It's Bangladesh, out of nowhere. They didn't know what a factory is. And who were the people who were running this, were producing all those clothes? Women. Women never came out of their homes in Bangladesh. That's a tradition. Suddenly, this industry began. Women came out of their homes, dared to come to the city, work in factories. 80% of our garment workers are women. So miracles after miracles keep happening. That's Bangladesh. And it's a very interesting location too. I think that would be very useful for you to remember. I wish we had a map of Bangladesh showing where Bangladesh is. It's that far eastern part of Indian subcontinent. Tiny little place called Bangladesh. Crisscrossed by major rivers in the world. Ganges, Brahmaputra, you name it. They all run to Bangladesh. And on the north of us is the Everest. In the country of Nepal, right over us in the north. And then Bhutan, next country. The reason I'm mentioning this amazing location of Bangladesh makes it a very exciting country. Bangladesh oversees the whole Bay of Bengal as their backyard pond. Huge access to the world, Bay of Bengal. Nepal, Bhutan, landlocked country. They have no access to the sea. So if you are a landlocked country, your fate is sealed. And that's what Nepal, Bhutan suffer from. They are landlocked. If they have to be present in the world market, they have to pass through Bangladesh. They have to bring things, send things through Bangladesh. And suddenly you have a new economic zone. Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan. Then you look at India. All the 7 states of India in the east called Seven Sisters. They are landlocked too. So on the north and the east, what we got, landlocked countries, Seven Sisters, Nepal, Bhutan. So if you have to do business of the world, you have to go to Bangladesh. So Bangladesh is your path, not only for Bangladesh itself, but for three other major regions. You can have this advantage of having businesses in this whole region through Bangladesh. That's the most exciting part of it. And all this asking for inviting business people to come and start business here. Set up your factories, sell to the whole region, and sell to the whole world. So we could be the production hub of this entire region. So you locate your industry, sell it to Bangladesh, sell it to other countries around us, and to the world. So this will be the most important aspect of it. And there is no shortage of young people, both men and women, very oriented to the new world, new way of thinking, new way of doing things, very quick to adapt, very quick to learn. If you are making assembly plants, if you are making any technologically oriented businesses, I think it would be good to consider Bangladesh. And last point I wanted to make is a huge transformation in Bangladesh just about 8 months back. Bangladesh overcame all the terrible things that happened to Bangladesh in the recent years and emerged as a completely new nation because of the young people. And they talk about, young people talk about creating new Bangladesh. You are invited to be part of that new Bangladesh. It's not only business, it's a transformation. It's a mission. While you do your business, you accomplish things right in front of your eyes. A new generation of young people emerging. And because of you, because you're located your industry, you're located your business in the place where young people are just about to hit the city, be the leaders of the world, show what young people can accomplish and inspire the whole world. So that's what Bangladesh is. A country which can lead the way to their young people, both boys and girls, ready to win. So please be part of it. That's our invitation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. May I request the Honourable Vice Chairman to also join us on stage for a Q&A session. Thank you. So we have about 15 minutes to take some questions and answers. If you have a question, please could you raise your hand, and if you're asked to ask the question, please could you introduce yourself and then go straight to the question so that we can take as many questions as possible from the audience. We have one over there. Do we have a mic to...
Thank you, everybody. It's an honor to be here, and thanks to Mr. Cottery for his amazing speech, and it's great hearing from Professor Yunus, and also from Vice Chairman Chair Lady Qing's only. We are, publicly holding group based in Shanghai, and we've been operating successfully air cargo flying between China and Bangladesh in the past 5 years. We have been facilitating the export of fresh products from Bangladesh to China, and of course the rest of the world. And just as a reference, for the past 5 years, we've exported on average per annum 5,000 pounds of fresh products from Bangladesh to China. And we're looking to pivot more towards the strategic focus in Bangladesh. And we're looking to do more in that. And now we're looking to expand by doing our own incorporation in Bangladesh. Actually, we set up our own operation and everything in our own entity, so that we're able to have more control over the export of the product in there. My question for that is, as we're looking to, obviously we're attracted by the economic fundamentals, and you have explained how we have a young population, everything is very energetic, right? We're looking to do more than that. My key question is that, is there anything that could be done to facilitate, for example, companies like us that are looking to invest in Bangladesh, but we have to manage the operation remotely. We won't be going there very often, but a lot of the operation is still down domestically here. So what could be done to help the enterprises and the companies that are looking to invest in Bangladesh to control the business remotely? Because as we're running through the incorporation process, I can tell there are a lot of procedures not really clear. We're not getting a lot of guidance from them. So yeah, that's my key question, and basically we're out of time to last on that. Thank you.
That challenge to Peter and Ashik, we will solve those problems and to make it very friendly, easy, and online services. You'll be invited you to come and visit. I said we'll go and invite right away to come and visit. You can visit by online, talk to them, meet people, see if it's worth going to Bangladesh, what kind of messages you get. So today, the world is so much simpler, easier. And I mentioned about young people, the people who are young, but also the management people. They are best educated young people in the market, a generation of experts, young population, looking for management jobs. So that's also big supply. It's possible. But you can bring your own people to run the factories, run the companies. It's not for Bangladesh, it's for the world. Produce things from there and see how easy it is to send it out and make a business. And not only the 7 sisters and Bhutan and Nepal that I mentioned, whole India is making there too. That's a market too. People are not going further away from the region. But this is the market. So you become the place where you run the business for the region. So it's a business. It's an exciting challenge that we give to ourselves, the young people give to us, how to transform the society, how to transform the nation. So it's a business with a mission. That this is not only do business, also we change the circumstances in the whole region, that give a new shape to the whole region. So that's a challenge for us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Honorable Chief Advisor and other guests. First of all, welcome to China. I come from considerable machinery. We produce loaders, excavators, bulldozers, and so on. So I would like to know what are the large government infrastructure projects in Bangladesh in 2025. Thank you.
Thank you. So if you know the basic economic theory, and there was a study done on Bangladesh a while ago, that roughly we need to spend $12 to $15 billion on an annual basis even to manage the current GDP growth we have on infrastructure. So the project scope on an annual basis is roughly $12 to $15 billion. And these cut across a number of different pieces. So we've talked about logistics. So everything related to ports, road infrastructure and bridges are being built quite heavily. At the same time, connectivity between cities and even within cities, so the mass rapid transportation services, all those things are currently also built in a very steady frequency.
Remember, Bangladesh is a small country, it's not a big country. Population is big, the country is very small. When you are talking about the logistics, it's not a very challenging thing once you put our mind it can be done. If something is missing, that's where our challenges come, that's where we can do that. And we have done major road network already, but lots more to be done. When we connect connectivity with the region, that needs that. So that they can easily bring their products located in Nepal, located in the Seven Sisters of Bhutan. They have to be brought through Bangladesh to the ports to go outside or bring things for the whole region. So this is the thing that we have to continue to work on that. Thank you.
Thank you. So, and if I may supplement the point you just made, the distance between the tip and the bottom of Bangladesh is roughly about 5,000 kilometers. So from a driving distance, it's actually not that long. You can think of setting up anything in any part of the country. In theory, you can reach the end of it very, very quickly. However, given it's very dense, what we need to ensure is we build